There's something quietly magical about earning a cat's trust. Unlike dogs, cats don't give their affection freely. However, so many of us misunderstand what cats truly need. We focus on the basics: food, toys, a clean litter box, thinking that's enough. But behind those curious eyes and twitching whiskers is a deeply sensitive soul, longing for something more than just survival. So if you've ever wondered what your cat really wants from you, not just as their owner, but as their chosen human, this video is for you. Because becoming the person your cat actually wants is less about doing more and more about doing differently. Let's start with the very first shift. Way number 1, they crave a predictable routine, not just a clean litter box. Cats find comfort in the little things we often overlook, especially the quiet consistency of our daily routines. It's more than just food and a clean litter box. What really helps them thrive is when life settles into a familiar rhythm. A soft good morning, a gentle brushing after dinner, or a quick play session before bed. These small moments matter. They might seem minor to us, but to your cat, they build trust day by day. What really counts is being present in the little routines that make your cat feel secure. When they know what to expect from you, they can finally relax. That's when their guard starts to come down. And when that happens, you're no longer just the person who fills the food bowl. Your cat doesn't just tolerate your presence, they begin to seek it out. Not because they need something, but because they choose you. Way number 2, they trust you more when you ignore them at the right moments. One of the most meaningful ways to deepen your bond with a cat is by respecting their need for space. Cats aren't aloof, they're just selective. When you give them room to retreat, to simply be, you're sending a powerful message. I see you and I respect you. This isn't about turning away or ignoring them. It's about knowing when to show restraint, especially when your presence isn't needed. That quiet understanding becomes a shared language between you and your cat, a language built on trust. And over time, instead of pulling away, your cat starts coming closer, completely on their own terms. They might linger a little longer near you, sleep a bit closer, or glance your way with softer, more trusting eyes. Do you treat your cat this way too? Let us know by hitting that like button. Way number 3, they care more about your scent than your voice. Cats experience the world in a way that's profoundly shaped by scent. More than the sound of your voice, it's your smell that builds trust and helps them feel at home. That familiar scent, whether it clings to an old hoodie or lingers on a cozy blanket, brings them comfort in a way words never could. If you leave something that smells like you near their favorite sleeping spot, it can strengthen your bond far more than just calling their name. It's a quiet way of saying, I'm here and I'm safe. This small gesture reflects how cats naturally connect, with closeness, warmth, and a deep sense of familiarity. And your scent becomes part of their territory, part of what they consider safe and worth protecting. Way number 4, they absorb your tension. Cats are incredibly intuitive creatures, often more attuned to your emotions than you might realize. When your energy is calm and steady, they can sense it, and in response, they begin to relax. But if tension starts to fill the room, if voices rise or your movements become sudden and unpredictable, they may quietly slip away or sit watching from a distance. It's not so much about the words you say or the things you do. What truly matters is the overall atmosphere you create. When you work on cultivating a peaceful presence, you're not just helping yourself feel better, you're also giving your cat something invaluable. Sitting beside them with quiet, steady breath, moving gently, and speaking in soft tones helps create a space where trust can grow naturally. As time goes on, your cat begins to understand that being close to you feels safe and comforting. And that feeling of safety becomes the starting point for a much deeper bond. One where affection doesn't have to be coaxed, because it begins to flow freely. Your cat starts to come to you, not just when they're hungry or need something, but because your presence has become their safe space. And in the end, that's the kind of human a cat truly wants. Way number 5, they gain confidence through the vertical space you provide. Cats are natural climbers and curious observers. They feel safest when they can keep an eye on their surroundings from above, not just because they're hidden, but because it gives them a sense of power and control. When they don't have access to elevated spots, they can start to feel exposed, unsure, or even withdrawn. but give them a place to climb or perch, and everything changes. That simple shift helps them feel quietly in charge of their space. You don't need to break the bank on fancy cat furniture. A shelf near the window, the back of a sturdy couch, or even the top of a cabinet can become a favorite sanctuary. These small changes let your cat know this space is yours too. You'll start to notice gentle changes, more relaxed body language, more comfort in your presence, and a deeper connection that grows not from pressure, but from choice. When you give your cat that kind of vertical freedom, you're not just rearranging furniture, you're giving them confidence. Way number 6, they see your respect for their do not disturb zones as love. Cats truly value their solitude. When they head off to their bed, curl up in a cozy corner, or disappear under the sofa, it's not that they're being distant, they're simply taking time to recharge. These quiet retreats aren't just random nap spots, they're personal sanctuaries where your cat feels safe and in control. And the way you respond in those moments, like choosing to walk away instead of reaching out, or patiently waiting instead of pushing for attention, you're letting your cat know something powerful, that you respect their space, that you understand their needs, and that you're willing to meet them on their terms. You're not treating them like a toy or something there for your amusement. You're seeing them for what they are, a thinking, feeling companion with boundaries. Over time, this kind of respect lays the foundation for something truly special, trust. Not the kind you demand, but the kind that's freely given. That's when your cat starts choosing your lap, not because they're told to, but because they want to. Way number 7, they judge you by how you present their meals. Feeding your cat isn't just a routine task, it's a daily opportunity to build trust. When you serve their meals on time, in a calm, quiet spot where they feel safe, you're showing them that you really get their needs. It's not only about filling a bowl with food, it's about respecting their boundaries and offering comfort in a world that can often feel too loud or unpredictable. Since cats are creatures of habit, a peaceful, predictable mealtime gives them a deep sense of reassurance. In a way, it's like saying, "You matter to me." Even small gestures, like placing their bowl in the same spot each day or making sure they don't feel rushed, can go a long way in reinforcing your bond. And your cat begins to associate your presence with care, safety, and consistency. That's when the real connection forms, not through big dramatic gestures, but through those quiet, thoughtful moments you choose to get right. Way number 8, they need you to play the right way, not just often. One of the most powerful ways to build trust with your cat is by learning to play their way. It's not just about waving a toy around, it's about tapping into the natural rhythm that lives inside every feline. Stalk, chase, catch, and finally, the satisfaction of the kill. When we skip over those steps or play too randomly, our cats can end up feeling confused or bored. But if we take the time to follow their instincts and build a play session that mirrors real hunting, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You'll notice their eyes light up, their body language soften, and their confidence begin to grow. These little moments might not seem like much, but to your cat, they mean the world. They're not just playing, they're connecting with you in a way that feels right to them. And in that quiet moment after the hunt, when they curl up next to you to rest, that's when you'll really feel it. You're becoming the human they truly trust. If this video helped you see your cat, and yourself, a little differently, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who loves their cat just as much as you do.